In the next installment of our Jason Nash's Most Toxic Relationship series, we have a video on Jason's channel entitled Reading Mean Comments, where Jason and Trisha spend the video reading harsh, truthful comments about their relationship. So you know this one is going to be good, because now instead of just seeing their relationship play out, we'll get to see their response to viewers' observations about their relationship dynamic. So let's begin and see what viewers had to say at the time.
Did anyone else notice that Trisha's laugh is kind of similar to Jason's now?
So right off the bat, the video opens up with a truthful comment and fun fact. Trisha did in fact change her laugh to match Jason's, and still laughs like that to this day.
Hi everybody, this is my video for today. Thanks for joining us. This is Trisha, my beautiful girlfriend, and she looks lovely today. Can we just take a minute?
We had a really good intro. We had another video we tried to do. And it was a good intro about how me and Jason almost broke up last night. He made a joke about it, but there was actually some truth to it.
I'll put it at the end of this video, the failed start of that other video, where we couldn't make each other laugh.
We tried to try not to laugh challenge, and because we had a fight last night, we both were just like not laughing.
So now we've switched over to reading mean comments.
Something way easier for us.
So it's no more than 1 minute into the video when we hear during their intro that they actually had another intro that was scrapped, and Trisha tells us that they got into a recent argument. Because of course they did. And it sounds like we'll find out what it was over toward the end of the video.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel so sorry for Jason. He seems so miserable with Trisha.
That's just truth.
When a commenter calls out the fact that Jason looks miserable at times with Trisha, Trisha laughs and says it's true that he is, fully aware of her negative effect on him, apparently, though she seems okay with it.
I kind of feel like he's only still with her because she'll do one of those crazy ass videos on the kitchen floor and expose him.
That's why you want to stay with me?
Yeah, like I'm afraid, like you have me on.
Oh yeah, maybe. Jason sometimes tries to break up with me and it never happens.
They then acknowledge a comment speculating that Jason might be too afraid to break up with Trisha because she would expose him if he did. Which isn't that far of a leap, considering she straight out said she would make a video on him if he ever broke up with her, remember? But it's interesting to hear that he's tried to break up with her multiple times during the course of their short-lived relationship at this point. Because by this point, they had only been dating for about a month, meaning he would have had to have been pretty miserable to want out that quick.
That's not true.
You've tried a couple times.
Last night, when you said that some mean things about me, I wasn't having it.
One mean thing.
Yeah, you said one mean thing. Why don't you tell everyone what?
No.
Notice how Jason exposes the fact that Trisha says mean things to him, and she admits that she does, and admits that she did during their fight, yet doesn't want to let people know what was said. It must have been really bad if she didn't want viewers to know what it was.
Jason also said he was blocked. He was like, blocking your number, I'm done. And then I called and it wasn't blocked.
Yeah, I totally blocked you. And then literally for about 10 seconds. And then I went back and I was like, I can't do that. I'm like, if something happens to her. Like, if that stalker comes and gets you, I would feel so bad.
Okay, there's a few things to note here. 1. Look at Trisha's face when Jason admits that he blocked her. So even though she said something, so means she doesn't want anyone to know about it, and he blocked her as a result of how she was treating him, she's offended by him taking that space away from her. As if his reaction to her behavior is worse than her behavior. Because we all know she wants her men to be willing to put up with the mistreatment to prove they love her, right? The second thing is Jason says that he unblocked her because he was too concerned about her being able to contact him if she needed him. This is important because Trisha has admitted that this was a tactic that she would use to control Jason. She would make it impossible for him to break contact with her or break up with her because she would come to him declaring there was an emergency and she needed his help. She has admitted that she did this to manipulate him and there were never emergencies. So her hearing this from Jason likely gave her incentive to keep using this tactic since she knew it worked. After all, it's the sole reason why he wouldn't leave her blocked. And third, he mentions a stalker that likely never existed. Funny how she used this story of someone stalking her to get Jason back and to feel sympathy for her, and later used this same story on her husband Moses. What are the chances that she would happen to be stalked twice, in both instances, where her boyfriends were trying to leave her? Right at that moment? Very unlikely, and clearly was a tactic she used regularly since she knew it worked. And it did. It worked on both of them.
You wouldn't expose me, would you?
No, like I would have been really upset. Like if you would have broken up with me, I would have been upset and I probably would have done a video. But I wouldn't have done anything mean. I would have been like, we broke up, like I got dumped.
You would have done a video about it?
Yeah, we have to if we break up.
Oh my god, I would never do a video if we broke up.
Notice the shift in Jason's tone as he asks her if she'd really expose him, wondering if that's really something he has to worry about. And she immediately tells him she would in fact make a video about him if they broke up, but claims it would be nothing more than just a video updating fans that they're over, which we know is a lie, not just because of how she actually did make a video once they finally broke up and tried to paint him in the worst light possible, but also because she threatened him and his friends that she would make a video like that if Jason and her broke up. So we're not sure why she's now pretending she wouldn't do exactly what everyone knew she would do. But Jason seems genuinely worried there and surprised. So maybe there was some truth to that comment about him being afraid. We're not sure why he's so surprised though. She's never made the fact that she would make a video on him a secret. And we're not sure why that's viewed as normalized behavior either. That's bordering on blackmail.
I do respect that as a YouTuber. It's like when David cut his hand. The first thing he said was, like, clickbait, get the camera. And meanwhile, he's like bleeding out.
Guess David Dobrik and Trisha aren't that different after all.
Okay, here's one about you. I feel like Jason is going through a midlife crisis and is on the verge of breaking down in tears sometimes. I am a Trisha fan, and although I rooted for this relationship, I hope Jason finds better. He deserves better. Trisha has warped political views, is an extreme narcissist, and just in general is not that great of a person.
The fact that an alleged Trisha fan had more things to call Trisha out on than Jason just goes to show you just how negatively Trisha was perceived during this time in this relationship. Because of how negatively she behaved, it's easy to see how her negatives outweigh his when hers drown his out due to how damaging hers are in comparison to his during this time.
But that's not true. First of all, this person is excellent. They got it right on me. But then somehow she swung it back to me.
I know! It started out saying you're on the verge of a breakdown and a midlife crisis, and then it goes to me just being an extreme narcissist.
Well, that person's right. I am in a midlife crisis.
You are?
I mean, I've been in it for 10 years.
Oh my god, am I just a midlife crisis girlfriend?
No, I've been in a midlife crisis since I was 35. I just don't like to do things that 44-year-old men like to do. I'm not into the lawn. I don't like to go to the hardware store. I don't tinker in the garage. When I was like married and stuff, I like talk to the other guys and they'd be like, oh, so thinking about putting an addition on in the back of the house. And I'd be like, ugh, I don't care.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't care about this. It's so much more fun to like make videos.
Okay, we need to stop here for a minute to talk about a few things. 1. Notice how Jason assures Trisha that the negative things said about her not being a good person aren't true, because he loves her and is quick to defend her, which is ironic, considering she started reading out that negative comment giddily thinking it was about him until it turned on her. She was going to be quick to agree with the negative things said about him and laughed about them. Meanwhile, he's quick to tell her that she's not as bad as people say she is and tries to defend her. Secondly, Jason has this weird idea that a 40-year-old man can only talk about yards and tools and fixing things, and because of that acts like he can't relate to them. It's kind of an odd view of his age range, because not all 40-year-old men are into what he described most of them being into. He's basically saying he doesn't feel like he's 40 because the other 40-year-old guys he knows want to work on their houses. As if other 40-year-olds like him don't exist who would rather spend their time doing things that revolved around comedy. His midlife crisis just sounds like someone who didn't want to give up his interest and field in entertainment to be a suburban husband. We're not sure why he found it impossible to do both, and why he thought they couldn't exist at the same time. It's giving not like the other girl's energy by stating he doesn't relate to any 40-year-old like him just because Bob and Steve from next door wanted to talk about tools, and he didn't.
And believe me, like when they all go party and stuff, like it's not like I'm like, yeah, like it sucks. I mean, I'm not, I'm not like out there like, yeah, I'm 25.
Sometimes.
No, I'm not. When do I go party on my own? Never. I don't party at all.
Next time you party.
I can't even think of like one time.
I can think of 10.
Okay.
Such a weird video.
So notice Jason clarifies that he doesn't even like the partying aspect of his friend group, confirming for us here that it's what we said. He just likes the comedy portion of it and getting to indulge in that, which is really just Jason being highly invested in his career. He doesn't even have the same interest as 20-year-olds aside from the filming aspect. But we have Trisha here pushing against that idea, claiming that Jason is lying and that he does love the partying scene, even though we'll see throughout their relationship, and have already seen Jason doing his best to bow out of those scenarios because he doesn't want to be involved in them. It's pretty clear here that that fight Trisha mentioned earlier is still having lingering effects, and Trisha is being combative and passive-aggressive because she's still not over their issue. So what does Trisha do when she's not over an issue? She creates additional ones to add on to it, so that the issues collectively get so huge that they can no longer be ignored by the other person, and in turn that other person won't be able to be over it either until she is.
Everyone is calling Trish crazy, yet no one is wondering why Jason even recorded this and posted it online. They're referring to the fight we had at the French fry place.
Thank you. I know, I saw comments in there, everyone being like, Trish is crazy. Jason literally took out the camera and I looked at him right away and I was like, but because I was kind of in the wrong in that, not really, but like kind of in the wrong in that one, I was like, fine, we can put this up because I felt a little bad.
But I mean, like, the boys shut me down all the time. Like, Todd will be like, no, this is not. And I'll be like, I'll bring the camera out. And he'll be like, no, I don't want this there. I mean, you can say that.
But you've never shut me down. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't mind being filmed for everything. Like, I like it, but it is weird in the moment. But I don't mind it because I'm like, you know what, this is good content.
I agree. Someone tweeted me about that video from Wednesday DMs, and they were like, don't you think you're exposing the relationship a little bit? And I'm a YouTuber. Yes.
Okay, so then we have a comment Jason reads that's negative about himself, not about Trisha, showing he's not out to just paint her in a bad light. He's willing to read out his own criticisms. Notice Trisha was looking for bad ones against him, yet here Jason is reading them out fairly, even making a negative aspect about him the focal point. It's interesting that the commenter states that Jason is exploiting the relationship for filming their fight, because on Trisha's channel, she has filmed every fight they've ever had in depth with no cuts. Jason tends to edit out moments that make her look worse, which you'll continue to see, and one of our lovely commenters pointed out a few videos back when we missed a cut of him doing exactly that during a fight. While Trisha films their fights and then proceeds to make videos afterwards going in depth about these fights. Yet somehow to her fans, that's okay. Somehow to her fans, it's only exploitive if Jason films the fights, but Trisha making entire breakup videos on people and videos about her fights with boyfriends are somehow less exploitive. Sound logic there. The truth is both Jason and Trisha use their relationship for views. Nobody is an angelic saint here. Though Jason seemed more inclined to protect her and not expose the full truth, kind of like earlier in this video when he said she said something mean, but didn't tell us what it was. Whereas when Jason says things, Trisha exposes them fully without hesitation. Also notice that Trisha admits she was wrong for that fight that was filmed, but yet barely can acknowledge her guilt, going from stating she was in the wrong to saying she was kind of in the wrong, and then not really, because she never thinks she's wrong.
How about you spend time knowing this gorgeous guy who loves you, you do all the things and push around so it's hard to let him be himself or express himself. Usually any relationship like that got a separation slap because you don't even care to listen. Give him space equal to yours in a relationship instead of filling all the gaps and silence in your relationship. Usually when a person is comfortable, they talk. They also have the comfortable silence they feel good in. Please don't push things to force them. I feel sad because the more it goes, you are working on a learning curve and not a lasting relationship curve. I don't even know if you will pause and be true to yourself and owning your mistakes if one failed. Oh dear, I don't feel good about this and I don't want to get you for a video, but you are in need of a true deep conversation or your relationship will fail. You need to stop pushing him and things away.
Ooh, screenshot that.
Okay.
I'm gonna frame it. She took a lot of time to write that.
That's what I'm saying.
So then we have a comment that comes in about how Trisha needs to stop forcing things with Jason, which is pretty solid and strong advice, which Jason seems to agree with. However, he can't help himself from defending her and downplaying her negative behavior, so we have him enabling it in the next breath by praising her. Because, remember, while Trisha wants Jason to feel bad, Jason doesn't want that for Trisha.
But in a way, like, when I see someone that did that, wrote all that, I was like, oh wow, like, Trisha did her job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got her reaction. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you did in the video, like, that could elicit that. Like, I wish someone would sit and go off on me like that.
I know yours are all very small comments.
He often not only allowed her to get away with her behavior, but excused it. But notice how Trisha says Jason's criticisms are small in comparison to hers. Well, yeah, it's because, as we said, is pale in comparison to her harmful behavior. There's a reason why Jason isn't getting paragraphs about his behavior, while she is.
Someone said, can someone point me to the video where Jason is in this insane shape?
This sounds like a reference to Jason declaring he used to be in insane shape. Interesting that Trisha chose that one to read. Yeah, let's make a guy with body image issues feel worse by shining a light on that one.
277 thumbs up. I can't believe Jason is still with Trisha. I was sure he would have run by now.
A lot of people said that.
Yes, Jason, there's a reason why they were all saying that during that time. And now you know why.
I also want to say, like, if you see something in the videos, like, I don't know, like, you're so sweet to me.
Yeah, I feel like the videos actually do make us both seem a little like...
I think probably, too, is because, like, I don't show the nice moments. In mine, at least.
Yeah.
But in yours?
A little bit, but even that, people just see what they want to see, because people even say, like, Jason looks so awkward, he looks so forced, he never, like, kisses Trisha, but it just looks like he's not an affectionate person, like, on camera. So that's, like, I think that's why.
I'm just not affectionate on camera because of my kids. Like, I just don't want them...
No, I don't care.
Seeing me, like...
We don't have to make
But I mean,
out.
they don't watch the videos anyways, so I'm also just an uncomfortable person.
Yeah, true.
Here.
That's how we kiss. We don't even know.
Trisha said I keep my eyes open when we...
Oh, ew! It's so creepy.
Okay, interesting moment here when Jason yet again takes the time to defend her because something negative was said about her. And now he pretends as if she's just so sweet to him, and people just don't know it because he doesn't do a good job of showcasing that side of her. But the truth is we've seen those moments on his channel of her being sweet, but they're so few and far between, which is likely why he has more footage of her not being sweet as opposed to her being this alleged angel. He appears to be in denial about just how badly he was being treated during this time. But another interesting thing to note here is she starts to talk about how people criticize Jason for not being affectionate on camera, but she's the one who does the criticizing on that. She's the one who calls it out every time he doesn't want to do something on camera with her. And he explains it's because of his children, which makes sense. His children are young, and it's common sense that children don't want to see dad all over new girlfriend after leaving mom, so he's considerate of their feelings. Trisha acts like she understands, but trust us, she doesn't, and you'll see more of that in more videos going forward where she shames him for not being more affectionate with her on camera. It's odd because Trisha always acted like her own father wasn't considerate enough to his own children regarding her stepmother, yet she's constantly pushing to Jason to behave the same way her father did, and constantly wants him to care more about her than his children. She oftentimes gets jealous of them and demands more of his attention. Remember that video we just did recently where we showcased how she got upset with him for missing his children when he was spending time away with her? His children are a big point of contention, and that will become more clear throughout this relationship.
Don't you love how Trisha always blamed her father for abandoning her and being with his new wife? But then when a man who has kids comes into her life, she has no qualms, trying to gain more time from him instead of being understanding about the
That's so not true.
Interesting that we just made the same observation that becomes vocalized a moment later. So check out Jason's reaction and tone. The way he's reading this clearly shows that he agrees with it. And Trisha immediately defends herself and claims the accusation isn't true. But it is. And they both know it is. Again, remember how she just got upset a video or two back about how he missed his children. That made her upset. And it's not the only time she has been or will be upset about Jason's need to be with his kids, which you'll see. But of course, in true Jason fashion, he's going to defend her again, even though the proof is literally in the footage, and is in his initial reaction to reading out that comment.
I never complain. If Jason's like, I'm with my kids, or I never say anything because I know how like annoying
That's
it is
true.
to happen. Never. I
That's
would
true.
never.
She's really, really good at
No, Jason. She's not really good about it. And she does complain. And you know that because you edit the videos that go up on your channel, and you've seen all the footage proving the opposite of what you're trying to say here. But we know he felt the need to defend his girlfriend and protect her, even against the truth. But let's check out just how supportive she is of his time with his children by rewatching that clip of her getting upset that he missed his kids.
I said that I felt bad that I wasn't with my kids. And then you were like, well, then you should have never got divorced.
And then you said this is not about you.
Sweet, supportive girlfriend. Huh? He's not even allowed to miss his children without her being offended by it.
I honestly cannot stand when Jason chews gum in vlogs. I have to lower the volume. If he can just stop smacking it, I would be so happy.
I know. I'm really sorry about the gum chewing. It's awful. I'm addicted to Nicorette.
Ooh, have you ever said that? 'Cause
No.
people never knew what kind. And I felt like if people knew the kind of gum you were chewing, it would make sense. But people were like, take that gum out of me.
I know. I have to stop. Will you do me a favor and help me?
I've tried, and I told you it's bad for your stomach. It's acidic. It's all
Especially
bad.
when I'm filming. Just tell me to take the gum out.
Trisha gets so happy reading negative comments about him. It's pretty funny, considering he feels so bad about reading hers out and is quick to defend her. Jason also seems to agree with the criticisms against him way more than she agrees with the ones against her. It's very telling.
Oh my god, even if we got married and had 2 kids later, literally people would still be like, Jason looks so scared in this relationship. You need to run. He's scared to leave it.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
No, you missed the joke.
Say it again.
No, you missed it.
I was reading
I
the
can't
next
read
thing.
you. No, that's not the, you have to pay attention to both comments. You don't pay attention when I read mine. I pay attention when you read yours.
Sorry.
Look how easily offended she gets. He was looking straight at her, trying to follow along with the convo after missing the first half, it seems, and she acts like he was completely being dismissive. She's so easily triggered and irrationally irritable.
Go ahead, go. People are writing mean comments about you right now, about what you just did.
Good thing I'm editing this.
Jason points out her behavior, and again, she's offended. She makes a joke about how she'll edit out her bad behavior, but that's not even really a joke, considering he just covered for her at the beginning of this video and frequently edits out serious things she says, or does in an effort to protect her. This is our plea to Jason. Jason, release all the edited out footage you have of just how mistreated you were during this relationship. Shine a light on the truth and quit protecting her.
Do you realize that being in the vlog squad is literally his job? And if you try to break them up, Jason will literally be struggling to make ends meet.
I have little faith in you that if you didn't have your friends, you would be done.
Probably. Of course. He has 2 kids and needs financial stability, and you want to take that away from him because you're jealous? You gotta think about other people's happiness too, not just your own. People need friends to be happy. You probably know that because you've had no one before and know how terrible it is. I've been there dozens of times.
Oh
my
God.
as well. So don't try to take away his friends and his happiness just because you don't have any.
Jesus!
No, she's coming back on your side now. She's being nice. You can have both. If you accepted his friends, they'd accept you, and you could all be happy friends together.
You can all be friends together.
If you weren't blatantly trying to split them up and believing what you want to believe, you really could be part of the squad.
No, goals one day.
Be nice about the squad.
Notice all of these comments pointing out how irrational and isolating her behavior is. She tries to come between Jason and his time with his children, Jason and his ex-wife, Jason and his friends, and Jason and his work. This comment is essentially telling her to chill out and stop messing with both his life and his livelihood, telling her that she can be a part of it rather than trying to rip the parts away that she's not involved in. It's good sound advice, but of course it goes in one ear and out the other. Because again, she believes she does no wrong.
You know what? Even yesterday, Josh admitted that he wasn't in it. He said, we're the outsiders of the squad. We just allowed to tag along. So I said, I know. And he said, we're going to start our own squad. And we are called the Chicken Finger Fam because we both love chicken fingers.
That's pretty funny, actually.
He said that. He's like, because I'm like, are you in the squad? He's like, no. He goes, we're like tag alongs. I'm like, yes, that's what I say.
Oh my God, you're both so classically, you're both the same person, you and Josh.
For anyone confused on who Josh is here, they're referring to Josh Peck, who is an honorable Vlog Squad member. Yes, that Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
I thought there was a giant muffin in the microwave oven thingy. Then I realized it's the reflection of Jason's head. That's pretty good.
Someone told me I looked like a Q-tip the other day.
Again, nobody really has anything to say about Jason. Not nearly as much as they have to say about Trisha. Gee, we wonder why that is.
Sometimes I wish Jason would just snap on her. She needs a reality check. He treats her like a little girl, trying not to hurt her feelings.
True. He's been trying to protect her feelings this entire video, but let's keep going.
This is what you guys don't see. He does snap on me all the time. I would say at 4 good times he snaps. If you don't think he gives me a reality check, oh, he gives it to me. And it's usually in the form of like, I am done, I'm blocking your number.
So her idea of Jason snapping on her and giving her a reality check is him trying to break up with her because she's taken things too far. Odd how she views that more as a negative from him and not her. If he's trying to break up with you because you're mistreating him. The villain is you, not him, in that scenario, Trisha.
I legit thought he was gay. Me too, Jen, me too. 152 thumbs up.
What? I legit thought he was gay? I'm not gay, guys.
Oh, look, another opportunity for Trisha to accuse Jason of being gay. Of course, she couldn't miss it.
That's like the saddest thing ever.
I don't care. I mean, I don't care if people think I am gay.
I know, but
I really don't.
Trisha says it's the saddest thing ever that he's being accused of gay and has to defend that, but it's her who's frequently accusing him of it. She's the one leading the charge. It's you, Trisha. Hi, you're the problem. But unlike Trisha, Jason doesn't view being gay as a negative, so it doesn't bother him. It bothers her more because she actually does see it as a negative, which is why she constantly uses it as an insult.
I don't care. Did anyone else notice that Trisha's laugh is kind of similar to Jason's now?
Yes! Oh my gosh, I know.
She agrees to copying his laugh because she knows it's true. But it's not surprising. She's admitted throughout her career that she copies aspects of people's personalities and traits. This is probably the most harmless thing she's done to him.
I love this one. Anyone else think Jason isn't even that good looking? Just me? Okay then. As if there was like a debate as you're like, I say, oh, he's the hottest person in the world. You are hot, but like, what is that for a comment?
She loves the comment pointing out that Jason isn't good looking. Yeah, that tracks as something she'd love. Anything that could potentially make him feel bad always seems to make her feel good.
Sometimes you do, like, it makes you uncomfortable when you're like, you're so attractive, and I know that the audience is like, oh my god, she's got hit over the head.
No, everyone says that.
It makes him uncomfortable because he has self-esteem issues.
Okay, Trish, don't do that with David in front of Liza. A girlfriend will only take so much before she defends her man. That's a way to make everyone not like you. If Liza turns on you, you're gone.
Ooh, I'm shook. Liza would never, because honestly, Liza's actually so sweet.
Liza's really, really, really nice.
I've said like
she's gone above and beyond to be nice to you.
She's overtly.
I mean, Liza's just really nice anyway. But
and I've said like in front of her like
that's special. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Someone brings up the way that Trisha talks to David Dobrik and how it's inappropriate to be doing in front of his girlfriend, Liza Koshy. It's true, but this just turns into a discussion about how nice Liza is, prompting Jason to make a joke that Trisha doesn't like, so she hits him. Naturally.
Everyone looks so uncomfortable when Trisha's picking fights with everyone.
I'm literally the most awkward person.
Notice how she doesn't even care that she makes his friends uncomfortable either.
Can I share this story? I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm going to share it anyways. One of his friends, we were like cuddling one night and one of his friends texted something about me and said, don't show this to Trish. And I'm literally like looking at his phone. Like, I didn't even know this was happening. I just look at his phone.
Brandon.
And he's like,
you can tell, you can say it's Brandon. Brandon thought it was funny.
And then Jason texts back, if you don't want Trish to see something, don't text it.
Guys, take note here, because this kind of thing is why Trisha actually doesn't like Brandon. It had nothing to do with him dating that teenager, which we agree was disgusting. It had to do with him sharing his thoughts about Trisha's behavior to Jason. She didn't like that Brandon was in Jason's ear telling the truth about her.
Man, this is 657 thumbs up, you guys. Man, the way she gets so close to his face and just gives him this intense stare the entire time without ever breaking, it is making me feel uncomfortable for him.
We all know the stare the commenter is talking about, and yet it's uncomfortable.
There's something about hearing a 44-year-old man saying you guys down that depresses me.
Commenters casually reminding Jason that he's not 20 just because he hangs out with 20-year-olds. True.
Jason, I'll write a one-man show. Trisha, can I be in it? I don't remember saying that, but that's kind of funny. Because I feel like that's something I would say.
Wait, I said
You
I'm
said-
gonna write a 1-minute show, and you said, can I be in it?
Yeah.
Okay, that one is just funny.
Jealous of a 6-year-old girl from his past? Girl, you need counseling. This was a story about you hanging out with that girl in like Cape Cod or something when you were 6. Or like... And you're like, so there was this girl, and I was like...
This is noteworthy because she does get irrationally jealous over past girlfriends, including a girl Jason knew when he was 6 years old. Yeah, you heard that right. She also does this with her husband Moses, too. She's frequently talked about the girlfriend that Moses had in high school and has even admitted that she's role-played as being her before. Yeah, you heard that right, too. Here's a few reminders of that in case you think we're kidding.
Are this the kind of dates you went on with your girlfriend in high school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pizza in a parking lot.
So while we're putting the disclaimer out there that we're coming to a wedding in Israel, let's also put another disclaimer. If you've dated Moses over in Israel, please let me know. If you were his girlfriend between the ages of 16 to 21 while he was in the military.
I was 16. I had girlfriends earlier than that.
You said you had one main one. You kept
high
got
school.
military.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for that. You don't get jealous.
He's before we met.
Aww. I get jealous of like your girlfriend from 4th grade.
Wow.
Like, who is she? Today in the shower, I wanted to roleplay being his high school girlfriend.
So odd for a woman who claims to be against men dating teenagers to want to roleplay as being one to her 40-year-old husband. But let's get back to this video.
The Vlog Squad of the Beatles and Trisha's Yoko Ono. I'm here for this.
What is this one from?
This is when we were in the bedroom and you were saying you're gonna expose everyone.
That's because David always asks me. One time at dinner, he's like, go around and say something bad about each person at the table. Remember at Mercado?
Oh yeah, that was awful. We were sitting at Mercado and like Trisha's being lovely and sitting and actually like, everyone's having a good time. David just pulls out his camera. He's like, okay, Trisha, say something horrible about everyone. And then I was like, no.
And I started with Brandon.
Yeah, Trisha. You know the expose video you threatened on everyone. The one you actually kept your word on and did. Also, it doesn't surprise anyone that she went after Brandon, considering, like we said, she hated him because he was the only one who was telling Jason the truth about Trisha at that time and how toxic Jason's relationship with her was. Also notice how Jason describes her as being sweet that night, but look how quick she was to just jump right in and start saying negative things about everyone. She was ready. Not so sweet, is she? Doesn't seem like it took much prompting at all to get her true colors to show.
She's so damn toxic, but their reactions are priceless.
Love that.
That's the general consensus of her entire fan base. She's toxic, but she's funny, so it's okay. But if it was a man doing that, it'd be a whole different story.
Honestly, slowly starting to hate Trisha. I was all for this, but now she's telling Jason to move out so early in their relationship and getting jealous of the boys. That's why people tune into Jason's channel, is to watch their friendship and their weird jokes they make. Like, I don't find it funny when she talks about how she'll expose him. Like, who would want to have a future with someone who threatens them and their friends? She's just so immature to say, well, I'm not classy. This one's going, like, Jason needs to run with 4 ends.
More truthful commentary about her behavior. It's a shame Jason didn't take it seriously. You can tell as he's reading it, he knows it's true, because he has said the same thing about how she pushes for things too early and is too negative.
I know she's been over in the past, but that's no excuse to drag David and Brandon into her little hallucination about Jason being gay and trying to expose them. She was joking, but I have a feeling she's not joking at all. She's crazy.
Again, notice how quick she is to accuse him of being gay yet again. In spite of the fact that in this same video, she talked about how sad it was that people thought that about him. Yet here she is again doing it and agreeing with it.
Clingy, and it's no wonder she has no friends and her relationships never last.
Oh my god, me last night.
Mad Mike.
My panic attack.
Trisha, if you're reading this, you need help. You need therapy.
You also don't disagree with this. Last night, Jason's like, if you want to go to therapy, I'll go with you, which was actually very nice, but also probably true.
I would go to therapy with you, and maybe Mad Mike can come.
Important to note here that she agrees with all of the negative things she's described as because she knows it's true. And also important to note that Jason was willing to go to therapy with her to get her help, which is vastly different from her husband Moses refusing to go to therapy with her, because he cared less about getting her help, which you can see here.
And it is Moses' choice, and I support his choice.
And he has to keep up with you, is what I'm saying. He's got to be in his own treatment because,
Yeah.
I mean, because you're going to change, and
Which
this
you're not
relationship's going
in,
to work.
Moses, and you don't believe in therapy, do you?
We're doing just fine.
He says they're doing just fine in response to does he believe in therapy?
Interesting.
We agree. It's very interesting that Moses doesn't want to help her get help. Gee, we wonder why. Maybe because he's more interested in keeping his cash cow as she is, so as not to disrupt the flow of the money. But we'll get more into that another time. For now, let's continue with the video.
Anyone else completely over Trisha and Jason being together? 114 likes.
206 thumbs up. Jason is so trapped.
Seems like people were getting fed up with the toxicity at that point, and we're just calling it like they saw it.
This woman is a straight up means everything she says. She literally wants to take all of Jason's friends away.
Yep.
That's
Accurate. Fact.
Stop worrying.
She doesn't even disagree that she does in fact want to isolate him from his friends.
Guys, Trisha is just ruining her reputation as a psychopathic, overbearing girlfriend who is way too controlling and threatens other people when she doesn't get her way. She is the one that's going to suffer in the subscribers in the whole ordeal when Jason finally leaves her. Body language is there. I believe he's already had enough and is realizing who she really is. And this is from a man.
Threatens other people when she doesn't get her way. Yep, that tracks. True. Another truthful comment Jason ignores and should have listened to.
Here's finally one against Jason. Thank God. Thank you. Everyone loves Jason, but I get like a weird bad vibe. I like that he seems deep with her, especially when she cuts the camera out and it's kind of off camera, but something is still off.
What's her name?
Allie Williams.
Good, Allie Williams, you're right. Something's definitely off about me.
Trisha gets so happy when there's a bad comment about Jason because they're hard to find underneath the pile of bad ones about Trisha. She's scraping the bottom of the barrel looking to make him the problem too, when the truth is she's the problem. She's the chunk of it. If it was Jason, 2 more comments would reflect that. There's a reason they don't.
Oh, this is great. This is the tattoo one.
Yeah.
Quotes. Trisha says, "I'm not forcing him to do this. Let's go right now so you don't back out."
You did do that in the video. That was so funny.
Reminder that she did in fact force him to get that tattoo, which is funny considering she went so hard against David Dobrik forcing tattoos on people in the vlog squad, but had no problem forcing her own on Jason.
Can someone tell me what they genuinely have in common?
Well, we have a lot in common. Let's see.
True though.
Let me just get the shout out and then we'll begin.
Babe, you still haven't made me the shout out. I retweet you every single day.
I'm gonna make you the shout out today. How about I'll do 2?
No!
Alright, Trisha's the shout out.
You do one all the time.
Okay, you're the shout out. Today's shout. That's it for today's. How do I say? Oh, that's what David says. I say, alright, everybody, like and subscribe. Tweet me, Jason Nash, Instagram at Jason Nash. Today's shout out
Right here.
is Trisha Paytas. Not that you need it.
Wow, she looks really pretty. You should follow her.
There you go.
Again, Jason can't give anyone else what he's not giving Trisha. So she complains about his fans getting something she doesn't. So he's forced to give it to her instead. So instead of a fan potentially getting more followers and being happy through a shout out it goes to Trisha, she really does take everything away from everyone, doesn't she?
I just got really self-conscious because Kristen's here now. And I was like, oh my god, Kristen must be like, they're not funny at all.
We're not. That's why we're gonna do the try not to laugh challenge. She looks like a catalog. I feel like you look like that's like the quintessential like girl like in the house, like catalog model with her off the shoulder shirt.
When Jason's roommate, Scott's girlfriend, walks in, the mood is lightened momentarily.
Her glasses.
Kristen's so beautiful.
No, I know. You literally look like a model.
Straight up.
Right now. It's
I can never say that because Scott flips out.
Jason, we're more surprised that Trisha didn't just flip out then, considering how threatened she is by other women. But it's likely because Kristen is in the room. We're sure we heard loads about it afterward.
Alright, well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. We're gonna go help Trisha make...
Oh, the comment's gonna be, did you see Trisha's face when he called Kristen pretty? That's gonna be everything. Like, I know those are the comments. Even if I'm like, yeah, she's gorgeous, people are like, oh, jealous, I can tell. Yeah, oh my god.
I just got a text from Scott. guy. I don't know how he heard it, but
Oh, wow. He's bionic
he
ears.
don't talk that way about my girlfriend. Okay.
Have a chip.
Yeah, Trisha. Because everyone knows what you're like. And, you know, she only called it out because she herself knows it's an issue. Nice way to cover, though, and pretend you're not that jealous. The same woman who admitted in this same video she was jealous of Jason's girlfriend when he was 6 and is jealous of her husband Moses' past childhood girlfriends. Yeah, you're totally not the jealous type.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, Harry said bye.
Sorry. Also, please check out the merch. You guys bought a bunch of stuff the other day.
I look pretty today. You're right. I do, actually. I'm like looking at myself. I do look good. Sorry. I do. Good thing we didn't do that. I actually do look good. I'm just like, oh, I don't care. I know.
I love how stream of conscious you are. I'm literally in the middle of trying to sell some merch so my kids can eat.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I do look great.
She clearly loves herself. Who would you say had more self-esteem issues in this relationship based off their looks and how they were made to feel? We're curious. And we're also curious about why Jason left out that fight he said he'd tack on at the end. Guess he's not as exploitative as Trisha and her fans claimed. Likely just protecting her yet again. But her true colors show, and they'll continue to shine even brighter, or maybe we should say darker as their relationship continues. Keep watching and find out just how dark they get.